In this lesson, I'd like to talk about field selection. So, of course, make sure that your VirtualBox is up and running and connect to your virtual server and start up Mungo. And we're going to use the ADB database, and I'm going to do show collections. And let's go ahead and use the user collection. So I'm going to say db.user.find.pretty. And again, by default, the find command is going to return a certain number of documents. Let's see if we can make this a little larger. And then stop. And if you can type it for more, it'll give you more of them. But most of them have something like an ID, a first name, a last name. Well, ID is, of course, required. Date of birth. We've been learning how to do find with a filter. So like db.user.find, actually we'll do that pretty. And if we only wanted to get back admins, we could put a document in here. The spaces aren't necessary, but we can say where the user type is admin. And we'll get back some admins in here. Yep, there's the admins. What we haven't covered is how to select individual fields. And what I mean is, if you think of a select statement, now let's go ahead and bring up Word Wrangler here. If this was in SQL, I might say something like select star from users where user type equals admin. And this where portion in your select statement corresponds to this portion in your find. However, what we haven't discussed is this. And remember, you could do a star. Maybe you'll do something like first name, last name, date of birth. So what we're going to learn today is how to select individual fields as opposed to just getting the entire document back. Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and keep with this, and we're only going to select admins. What you need to do is inside the find command. So this is a complete JSON document. It starts, as you can see there, with a squiggly bracket, ends with a squiggly bracket. You could have ands and ors in there and all this other stuff we learned. Now if I put a comma, and over here I say, okay, what I want is the first name and the last name. Well, that really won't work because everything needs to be in JSON format. So say first name :1, and that 1 again is just a placeholder. Last name :1. Now, instead of getting the entire document back, there's the first name and the last name. The ID field will always come back, regardless of whether you ask for it or not. So if I ever go ahead and say, return all of the last names and, I don't know, ages, I would go ahead and let's get rid of all of this here. Let's say I wasn't filtering. I wanted to see the last name and the age for everyone in this database. Well, you need to pass in a blank because that still means select all. And then put in a second, and here is where we'll say I want the last name :1 and the age :1. And of course we get a lot more records, but you see we get the ID by default, the last name, and the age. So once again, in a find, the first argument here is the where. It is this portion of the select. However, if we want to pick individual columns or fields, that is the second JSON document, the second argument of the find.